Good afternoon, everyone. This is Dr. Armstrong today with the long-awaited therapeutic talks. If there's one thing that I do know, and I do know a lot, is that it has been a minute since I have actually did a video and a podcast recording, simply because of the busy nature uh, of my profession, and it has been very busy. This month, a lot of therapists say that during the holidays, things tend to slow down. I don't get that. Um, Not complaining about it, but I don't get that. Um, I get busier during the holidays, and the holidays have a lot to offer when it comes to healing, especially if it is approached in the right way. Um, Question came to me. So again, thank you again for listening and subscribing and liking and sharing and all of that good stuff. I appreciate all that. What we're going to get into today, question came to me is, how does unprocessed trauma show up in a relationship? Um, Many people don't realize that when you carry your trauma unprocessed, meaning that you have not received the help that you should be getting to process through such a tragic event in life, it can show up in your behavior, your emotions, even in your, if you want to go that far, even in your spirit, or even in your mental capabilities. Okay. Um, Anyone who has been through anything traumatic should be in therapy. You should be. Okay. Therapy helps you to process each aspect of the trauma, and it also helps you to learn how not to live in the trauma. In other words, not to form a type of PTSD. And some people have a complex PTSD when it comes to their trauma. But therapy helps you to just process through and transition from trauma to healed. Okay? From trauma to heal. So people ask, well, Dr. Armstrong, how does it show up? What should I look for? And I get this from a lot of wives, husbands, and boyfriends, girlfriends, people in relationships. What does it look like? I'm gonna run down some things for you that you can look for in your significant other, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend. Um, Unprocessed trauma can show up in your relationship as people pleasing and perfectionism. Uh, in other words, not wanting to let the trauma show, not wanting to be perceived as someone who is broken. Okay? Codependency and counter codependency. It can go both ways. All right? It can definitely go both ways. All right? You can be very codependent, or you can be very counter codependent, meaning you want to put forth the personality that, hey, I can do it all on my own. Okay. Neglecting our own needs. Sometimes people who have been through trauma, they neglect other people's needs, which goes back to our first point of people pleasing and perfectionism. Okay. Narcissistic tendencies. Okay. Unprocessed trauma can actually turn into some bad behavioral traits. And it can actually turn into some very, very, very difficult behavioral disorders. This is why it's very important to get treatment if you feel you have been traumatized by anything, any type of trauma. It doesn't matter what it is, okay? Attracting narcissistic partners, because you are attracting someone like the person who traumatized you. It's trauma bonding. Okay. Difficulty with setting boundaries. A lot of people have it so, find it so difficult to set a boundary. Yeah, well, some people find it difficult to set a boundary, and then some people find it difficult to maintain a boundary. There is a stark difference in setting the boundary and maintaining the boundary. Okay? Learn the difference. It's easy to set, and sometimes it can be hard to set depending on what it is, because you don't want to face a certain person. Okay? And then maintaining the boundary, knowing what to do, knowing how to keep that boundary maintained is a big thing. All right. Overworking to avoid a connection. And yes, people do become workaholics to avoid a connection with other people. Okay. Don't become that person. Please don't become that person, because then you lose yourself within, and sometimes it's menial, meaning it doesn't even have to be done, but you don't want to make a connection. Okay. Let's not be that person. Okay. Trying to fix or rescue others because you've been hurt. You know what it feels like. So you try to be the savior. And there's a thing for that. There's a psychological concept for that. And it's called savior's complex. Okay. Savior's complex. A lot of people have that. They feel like they can just conquer the world and conquer everybody else's problems, but never face their own. Don't be that person. Okay. Tolerating abusive or neglectful partners speaks for itself. Emotional dysregulation and reactivity. Emotional dysregulation. That is a huge one. People with mood disorders and emotional dysregulation, I'm going to have to do a video on that one all to itself. But these things happen. These things are part of your trauma. They should also be a part of your healing, where you can recognize when your mood is off, recognize when you're not emotionally regulated. Okay? These are things that you need to be able to recognize and be aware of. Okay? But that one, the dysregulation and the mood disorders, I'll do a video on that one all to itself. Okay? Self-sabotaging or self-destructive behaviors. Self-sabotaging or self-destructive behaviors speaks for itself. Okay. Extreme fears of abandonment and rejection. Abandonment and rejection. Listen, folks, if you've been traumatized, get the help that you need. If you feel as though your trauma from your childhood has gone unprocessed and it is now showing up in your daily life, in your relationship, get the help you need. Help is so available. We just learned of the DJ from the Ellen DeGeneres show, and on You Think You Can Dance. He was just on the hip hop Nutcracker show. DJ Twitch committed suicide. That's an unprocessed trauma that young man was going through. Through that big smile, there was an unprocessed trauma. So what I'm asking you to do today is to take some self-inventory. Look at yourself. Is there something going on in your life that is unprocessed, that has been traumatizing you for year after year after year? Take this moment now. Do a self-inventory. See what it is that needs to be processed. Contact a therapist. Schedule an appointment. Attend the sessions. Therapy works. All right? If you choose me, I am very, very available through every platform out there, and I'll be more than glad to help you. Start healing. Start the healing process, okay? Thank you, folks. I hope that you all have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful weekend, and I hope to see you before the holidays. All right? If not, do have a happy, happy, happy holiday. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.